Okay, so this is lesson 4. The learning targets is that I can graph a linear inequality. Okay, so similar to equations, but we're going to be looking at inequalities. So a linear inequality in two variables is the result of replacing the equal sign in the linear equation with any of these: greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Okay, the solution to a linear inequality consists of all the points in a half plane. The half plane is shaded to indicate where the solutions lie in the plane. Alright, so when we actually graph it, you shade part of the graph, which we'll show you. Alright, the points on the boundary line are included in the solution when it is less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. And the line is drawn solid. So that means our line is drawn like that, just like our normal line that we always draw. Alright, the points on the boundary line are not included in the solution when it is less than or greater than. And the line is drawn, well, we're going to say dashed. Okay, so our line is going to look like that. Okay, and we'll get to that example on the second page. Okay, so this we did in our review today. Alright, you guys didn't see this before, but it's similar to the first problem. So when I want to tell whether the ordered pair is a solution of the inequality, I'm just going to take these. This is my x value, this is my y value, and I'm going to plug it into the inequality. So I'm going to take the x, which is 8. I'll write it over here for you. 8 minus 3 is less than or equal to 5. Alright, 8 minus 3 is 5. Less than or equal to 5. Okay, is that true? Yes. So yes, it is a solution. Alright, if this number here was 1, 2, 3, 4, if it was 1 is less than or equal to 5. Is 1 less than or equal to 5? Yes, that's true. Okay, so any of those solutions would work. The only time this wouldn't work if it was 6, 7, 8, if it said 6 is less than or equal to 5. Okay, that's false, so it would not be a solution. But this one worked out, so yes, it was a solution. Alright, you guys go ahead and try those U-tries. Alright, so our steps here. Alright, we have them broken down. In the first couple, we wrote them right next to the graphs for you. Alright, but our steps. Step 1 is to graph the boundary line. Okay, if it's greater than or less than, there's no line underneath it, I draw a dashed line. So we're going to draw our line like that. Alright, and use a solid line for those. So it's going to look like a normal line. Okay, we want to then test a point not on the boundary line by checking whether the ordered pair is a solution of the inequality. Okay, then we're going to shade the half plane with the point if the ordered pair is a solution. And we're going to shade the other half plane if the ordered pair is not a solution. Okay, and we'll show you what that means right here. Alright, so step 1. I'm going to graph y equals 4x minus 3. Okay, so this is the inequality. I rewrote it with an equal sign because that's what we're actually graphing. Alright, but notice, it's just greater than here. Alright, so what kind of line am I going to use? A dotted line, or a dashed line, we're going to call it. Dash line. So let's graph this. So the y-intercept, my b, is -3. So I put a point at -3. And my slope is 4. So it's 4 over 1. So I'm going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1. Okay, then we go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1. Okay, remember it's a dashed line because this was just a greater than. There was no line underneath there. So my line is going to be dashed. Okay, on the next U try, notice, okay, it has that line. So this is going to be a solid line when you graph it, and you guys can try that one. Alright, so now I'm going to test a point. What this means is you pick any single point on this entire graph and see if it's a solution. I'm telling you the easiest one is going to be 0, 0 if the line doesn't go through it. You can pick 1, 1, you can pick 2, 2, you can pick this point way over here, alright, which would be negative 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 4. I could pick negative 4, 4. I'm going to pick 0, 0 because it's not on my line, and that was right here. It said test a point not on the boundary line. So let's test 0, 0. Okay, so my y is 0. I want to know if that's greater than 4 times 0 minus 3. 4 times 0 is 0. Okay, 0 minus 3 is negative 3. So is 0 greater than negative 3? Yes. So since it was true, I'm going to shade where this point was. This point is on this side of my line, so I'm going to shade all of this. Okay, so shade the half plane that contains 0, 0 if it is a true statement, I guess. Shade the other half if it is not a true statement. Okay, so let's say I did that and I got a false. That means I would shade this whole side. Okay, but since it was true, I shaded this side. Okay, we got a few more examples for you guys. I want you guys to try those, but I'm going to do this one actually. Okay, so we'll call this not a U try. Alright, so it says I need to graph this. Alright, so in order to graph it, I need to change this to y equals. So I'm going to do this here, x plus 2y equals 0. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides, and I have 2y equals negative x plus 0. I'm going to divide each side by 2, and I get y equals negative 1 over 2 x plus 0. Okay, so now I want to graph this. Alright, so when I graph it, my y-intercept is 0. My slope is negative 1 over 2, so that's down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Okay, and I'm going to use a solid line because this is equal to. So I have a solid line now. And that just means that everything on that line is included in my graph. Alright, now what can I test? Last time I tested 0, 0 because it wasn't on the line. Now that's on the line. So I can't test that point. I need to test a point that's not on the boundary line. 1, 1 is always a good one too. That's not on the boundary line. So I'm going to test 1, 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug it in. 1 plus 2 times 1 is less than or equal to 0. 1 plus 2 is less than or equal to 0. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, is 3 less than or equal to 0? No, that's false. Okay, so it's a shade the half plane that consists of 1, 1 if it is a true statement. Shade the other half if it is not a true statement. Okay, so 1, 1 gave me a false statement. So what that means is I shade the other side. Okay, so that's my solution. Okay, you guys are going to need to graph this. Go ahead and draw a plane here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, that should be good for you guys. So you can go ahead and graph that right there for your U try. This one is also a U try. All right, good luck guys, see you guys on Monday.